Hi everyone, my name is Pamela Pettit and I'm the Technology Manager here at iEARN-USA and I'll be your host for the next Passport to iEARN session. So let me just share my screen. So for those of you who are just joining us, Passport to iEARN is an all-day virtual event that we're hosting here in the iEARN-USA offices in New York. And during this event, you'll get to learn about all the different ways that iEARN-USA supports virtual exchange, physical exchange, and global collaboration for educators and youth around the world. We're hosting this session today because it's Giving Tuesday. And if you haven't heard of Giving Tuesday before, it's a global day of giving, volunteerism, and kindness. During this day, you're encouraged to give to your favorite nonprofit organizations and charities, and we hope that you'll support iEARN-USA today during the giving season. There are lots of ways that you can support global collaboration and the work that iEARN-USA does. You can give, you can volunteer, you can spread the message about global collaboration on social media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you go to the website right here, us.iearn.org/donate, you'll be able to learn about all of those different options as well as connect with us on social media so that you can spread the message. So this session is going to be about one of iEARN-USA's initiatives, which is the Teacher's Guide to Global Collaboration. You can access this guide at globaledguide.org. And it's a great website that iEARN-USA helped put together to help educators and youth around the world connect with other teachers and other educators about projects and resources that support global collaboration. So during this session, we're going to go over what the guide is, how you can use this guide, what the projects and resources that are included in this guide are about, how you can search the projects and resources in this guide, and then how you can submit your own to be a part of this, be a part of the exchange. So the Global Ed Guide is a searchable database of global projects and resources to help educators foster global competence and build connections with their students. We're really excited about this guide because the projects here are projects that really are, the main focus is connecting with your peers around the world. In these projects, you're not just going to learn about your peers in other countries, you're going to be able to connect and learn with them. So why create this guide? Well, in order to thrive in an increasingly interconnected world, young people need to develop the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to engage in lifelong cross-cultural learning and collaboration. All of the projects in this guide are working towards making a difference in the world and building global competencies for the youth and educators that participate in these projects. We believe that if students and educators start at a young age or really start at any age, connecting with their peers around the world, they'll be able to learn how to have meaningful dialogue with one another and build respect and understanding in an increasingly interconnected world where we really need it. So a little history about this project. For those of you who are familiar with some of the initiatives that iEARN has done in the past, you may remember the Connect All Schools Guide. This guide was an initiative to connect schools in the United States and help them reach out and connect with their peers around the world. One part of this guide was the Exchange 2.0 guide, which was just a small part of the Connect All Schools website where it featured a listing of projects and resources that educators could reference and use in their classroom or in their youth engagement activities to help with global collaboration and help their youth connect with youth around the world. Since it was such a small part of this guide, we felt it needed a bit of a refresh and a bit of an expansion, especially as there are more and more project-based learning opportunities available for educators and youth. This guide was funded by the Longview Foundation. The Longview Foundation seeks to build a more peaceful, just, and sustainable world by equipping youth with a global perspective and understanding of political, social, and environmental issues worldwide. We're really grateful to the Longview Foundation for funding this guide because we believe it'll really make a difference for those educators and youth around the world. So, the best place to go to learn about the guide is the website. If you just visit globaledguide.org and head over to the Learn page, you'll be able to see a little bit about what this guide is, whether you're new to project-based learning or if you've done a million project-based learning projects before. The Learn page is a great place to start. You can see why we created this guide, get a taste of a couple of the different resources available in this guide, as well as ways that you can use this guide. So aside from the Learn page, one of the main resources that you'll find at globaledguide.org are a variety of projects because it is a project repository. Our projects include connections and collaborations with teachers and students from other countries for an educational purpose. So like I was saying, these are not projects where you're just going to learn about your peers around the world. These are projects where youth and educators will get to directly connect with youth and educators in other countries. The goal of all of the projects and resources in this guide is global collaboration. So this is just a screenshot of one of the project pages that you'll be able to view at globaledguide.org. You'll get the title of the project, which is in this case is Global Math, and you'll also get who the sponsoring organization of the project is, because these are projects and resources that are not just from iEARN, but from all of the different organizations and institutions that support global collaboration. So in this case, the Global Math Project is brought to you by iEARN, and this link is a link here to the iEARN organization page right on the globaledguide.org website. Below that, you'll be able to see a description of what this project is. Depending on the project, you may get more or less details. In this case, you get a listing of some of the different classroom activities that this project encourages. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to click on a link so that you can join the project if it sounds like it's something that would fit into your classroom or your curriculum. And you'll also have additional information here about whether or not this project has rolling registration, meaning you can jump in and join at any time, or if there are specific start and end dates for this project so that you can build it into your curriculum at the start of the school year. In addition to our projects, you'll also be able to find different resources at globaledguide.org. Similar to the project pages, you'll have the title of the resource as well as the organization, the hosting organization of the resource. You'll get a description about what the resource is. And on the left-hand side, you'll have a great big button where you can link directly to the resource, as well as what type of resource this is, because there's a lot of different types of resources that you'll be able to find in this guide. That will help support educators in their global work, including curriculum units, toolkits, tutorials, content resources, even various networks where you can connect with other educators or people in the virtual exchange field, as well as events and professional development opportunities. So again, I mentioned these previously, but another great way to search through the globaledguide.org is by going to the organization pages. So if you come to the Global Ed Guide and you find a project that you want to give a chance to and participate in and you really enjoyed the project, your next step might be to visit the organization's page on the globaledguide.org that sponsored that project. On this page, you'll get more information about the organization. You'll have a link to visit the organization's website, and you'll also get a listing of all of the projects and resources currently on globaledguide.org sponsored by this organization. So you can sort through these by resource to view only the resources this organization has provided, or you can sort through projects to see only the projects that they've provided. And of course, you can always show all to see all of the offerings this organization provides. So those are kind of the more specific ways that you can view and access information on this guide. But In addition to that, we wanted to make sure that this is a really easy and intuitive guide for educators and people in the industry to search through and find exactly what they're looking for. So if you visit globaledguide.org and you're looking for projects, you'll first go to the projects page. And on that page, you'll be able to view a listing of all of our projects that are currently in the repository. And if you want, you can browse through them. On that page, there's also a basic keyword search that you can use. But if you're really looking for something specific, then you can use our advanced search options. And the screenshot here will show you a little bit of what the advanced search options allow you to do. So the first thing that you can do is you can search through projects that are related to a specific age level. So if you're a primary school teacher or a secondary school teacher, or if you're working in an after-school activity with youth directly in those age groups, you can search by age level through all of our projects. Additionally, you can search by project subject area. And all of our projects have been reviewed by a project review team to make sure that they're actually falling into the subject areas in a comprehensive way, and so that we can make sure that everybody visiting this site gets exactly what they're looking for. So you can also search by subject area, and then you can also search by project facilitation language. So for example, when you're participating in iEARN projects, our projects are hosted by iEARN teachers and members from around the world. And at times you can have teachers from Japan and Morocco and the United States all working to facilitate a project together, in which case the project will be facilitated in Japanese, Arabic, and English. And so you could search through and find all the projects that are facilitated in Arabic or all of the projects that are facilitated in Chinese. In addition, you can also search through the global competencies that these projects are working towards. And so this is really important, we think, because we want to make sure that youth today are gaining skills to be competent in an increasingly global world. And so you can browse through the global competencies and see which projects are hitting those key goals that you want your youth to be able to work on. And for those of you in the United States, you can also browse through these projects by how they relate to Common Core state standards. And finally, but probably most importantly for this guide, you can also search through projects that are related to the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. So you can browse through all of those and see how those projects are working to make the world a better place. Of course, you can also search by project keyword. And then finally, just a note about the inclusive search. So by default, inclusive search is off. So that means, in this case, if I have selected UN Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education, and the secondary age level, the results that will get returned are going to have at least one of those keywords. But if I turn inclusive search on, then all the project results that are returned must have both of those keywords. So just a little extra refining that you can do for your search results. So next we have using this guide and the search resources. So just like with projects, when you go to the resources page, you can simply browse through all of the projects that are all of the resources that are available. If you're not sure what you're looking for, that's a great place to start. There's also a basic keyword search on the resources page, so you can just go through and see what kind of resources are available by keyword. Or if you're really specific and looking for something in particular, you can browse through and use the advanced search. And so this screenshot is a screenshot of all of the advanced search options for the resources section. So just like with the projects, you can search by a resources relevant age group. So whether they're secondary school or primary school students, what the resource is related to. You can also search by resource subject area. So if these resources are classified into a specific subject, for example, maybe science curriculum units or lesson plans or arts and music activities that you can do, that's how you can filter by subject area. Again, you can search by the resource facilitation language. And so in this case, if a resource is available in Chinese and Arabic as well as English, you can use the drop down there to search for resources in specific languages. And then you can also search by resource type. So if you're looking for a lesson plan database because you want to get a couple lesson plans to work with your the projects that you've found, or if you want to look for professional development opportunities, this is where you can kind of narrow down those results. And then for resources, you can also search by sponsoring organization. So if you wanted to see all of the resources that iEARN provides and has added to globaledguide.org, you can filter by iEARN. Again, you can also use keywords, and then if you want to, you can use the inclusive search. Again, by default, this option is off. So in this case, my resource search results are going to show resources that include at least one of these keywords. So they might have the lesson plan resource type, but not have the resource in Chinese. If I turn inclusive search on, then all of my results have to have both and all of the options I've selected. So they have to have the type of lesson plan database, they have to have the facilitation language of Chinese, and they have to be relevant to 12 to 14-year-old students. Okay, so if you're an old hat at project-based learning and you've participated in projects before, or if you're an organization that facilitates or runs global projects, then you can submit your project here. The submission can be a new project or a well-established project that other educators can join with their classes. This screenshot here is just a quick example of how you can submit your project to globaledguide.org. You just go to the submit page. On there, you'll be able to choose whether you want to submit a project or a resource. And then you'll be able to go through the process. It's just a few short steps. There's just a couple fields on each page, on each step, so that we can get a better idea about what your project is and how people can participate. And then once you submit your project, our project team will review it, and if we have all the information we need, it'll be posted to globaledguide.org. You can also submit your own resource. So organizations and institutions that offer global education and collaboration opportunities for educators, we strongly encourage you to share those opportunities in this guide. We're looking for resources that support educators to engage their students in global collaboration. And of course, just legal note here, you must own the rights to the resources that you submit, just so that we can keep on top of things and make sure that we're sharing out the proper resources. So again, if you just go to the submit page at globaledguide.org, it's a really simple form that you can go through, just giving us the basic information about what your resource is, what it's related to, and how people can access it. Again, our review team will make sure we have all the information we need so that our community can actually access and make the most of the resource, and then it'll get posted right on to globaledguide.org. So please, if you're a teacher or a facilitator, or if you're a member of an institution or an organization that works in the virtual exchange or the global collaboration field, please submit your resources here. Okay, so thank you so much for sitting through this session and learning more about the Teacher's Guide to Global Collaboration. And thank you for attending our entire virtual event here with iEARN-USA in celebration of Giving Tuesday. Again, I would strongly encourage you, and it would be really great, we would really appreciate it if you would help spread the message about what iEARN-USA is doing for global collaboration. And if you're able to give a gift, then please visit us.iEARN.org/donate, and you can learn about all the various opportunities that you'll have in order to connect and support iEARN-USA. So thanks again, and stay tuned for more great sessions in the rest of the day.